everyone, and welcome back to a Gran Turismo time trial here at Bathurst in that Ford Mustang Group 4 car. Yes, we're using a Group 4 car, which I'm not really sure about, to be honest with you. We're on racing hard tyres. I've put this as easy. The reason for it being easy is it's quite a big time that you can get here. Now, all you got to do is avoid the walls, and I'm going to show you that on one of my laps today, because I do it on one lap, and you see how rough that actually is. Goal estimate around a 2:17.5. I do think that is an easier time to get than normal. So, yeah, hopefully this guide helped you get to that point. If you do like this video, as always, give it a like and subscribe to the channel to stay in touch with all the latest content. But without further ado, let's jump into this one then, and let's kick off here at Bathurst. So as we head towards turn 1, I want you to focus on the left-hand side more than the lamppost. On the left-hand side, the end of the pit building is my brake marker, okay? I'm going to brake in a straight line. Now, the lamppost is a bit of a brake distance marker, so you can use that instead if you want. I want you to drop down to second gear here and then go up to third gear. Second gear gives you a bit of rotation, instantly up to third gear. Try and straighten the car on the exit because it will want to rotate a little bit as you put the power on. So maybe turn into the oversteer if you need to. Just be prepared for that as you now go down this straight. That's set to one in a nutshell, so you can really focus on one corner here to try and improve your times. I'm still a 10th down on my very best there. I'm going to head towards the next turn then, and on the left-hand side, we had this escape road there. Literally, the end of the escape road, where it goes into grass, is my brake marker. Now, you do not want to touch the curb on the inside here. That will unsettle a Ford Mustang completely. In fact, all curbs unsettle this Ford Mustang. When you hit the brakes, drop to third gear, then trail brake a little bit in towards the corner. Notice I went for a later apex, then continue on through. I aim for 80 miles an hour. Once again, on exit, just be careful of oversteer. That can happen as you go up this hill then. So through the left-hander we go, a little bit of a kink. And what I'm looking for here is that white line there. Notice how it curves and then goes straight. So literally, as I see it go straight, I'm going to hit the brakes. And what I want to do is try and make sure I'm in the middle of the road here. Don't go too tight and don't go too wide. If you go too wide, you're going to hit the barrier. Go too tight and you're going to spin on the exit here. So notice how I'll go through there. Try and straighten up as quick as possible on the exit, because otherwise you will get some oversteer as we continue on up the hill. Now, I'm going to pause it here. There was no real necessity to pause it here, but I thought I'd show you these anyway, and I point them out every time at Bathurst. These two trees, they are turning markers. So you can either use the one on the left or the one on the right. Turn into the corner when these trees hit the edge of your screen, and you should make it through absolutely fine. Now, this is flat out in Group 4. It's actually really easy in Group 4 to do these flat out as we head over here. We're going to go down the hill a little bit. I want you to change to fifth gear, and as we get to the bottom of the hill there, turn in. And turn in drastically as well. It allows the weight to shift so you can do that flat out. We get to this next point here where we have the start of the curb. We're at the top now. We're at Skyline, essentially. What we're going to do now is we want to lift off a little bit just as we get to this curb, okay? The reason we want to lift off is we want the front to stay a little bit down because it's a bit of a crest of the hill. If you're fully accelerating, the front will lift. So lift off a little bit, then continue on through. Some little lift through that corner to make sure you don't understeer off is absolutely fine as we look to go down the mountain now. So on the right-hand side then, we have this building. Now, the very top of it is like a 3 levels. So the very top there, that's my brake marker for this. Now, I've highlighted another yellow square there in the center of your screen. That's where you're aiming for. So I only want you to brake 100% in a straight line. This is what I'm talking about. So trail brake, 100% brake in lift, 100% braking in a straight line. And I only ever turn when I'm not 100% braking. So that is critical as you go down here. So trail brake through this right-hander. We've got to the end of the curb here. This is where you dab the brakes and I want you to chuck it left. Do not cut the inside too much. You get penalized for it, which is stupid in my opinion, but hey, it is what it is. But you do want to cut the inside. Be careful on exit there. Notice that the car had a wiggle. Very easy to get too much oversteer there and crash into a barrier, which will invalidate your lap. Now, as I've come through this corner, I've lifted off and I've hit the brakes and just let the car roll a little bit because I'm trying to place the car. And I get to this point here where the black meets the blue on the right-hand side. This is where I'm going to now go 100% on the brakes as I go downhill. Now, whatever you do, go in a straight line. Only release the brakes. Only turn when you release the brakes there. I'm in second gear, so I go through that corner and then go up to third. If you try and do it in third gear, you're going to suffer some understeer on the exit and potentially hit the barrier. So second to third gear is beneficial there. The critical part of Forest's elbow there is literally braking in a straight line as you go down there and only turn when you are releasing the brakes. Remember, a wheel can only do 100% of something. I'm about 2/10 down on my best here, which is a bit frustrating, but this is Bathurst for you. I'm going to head towards the left-hander here then, and what we're looking for is the 150 board if you're struggling on the brakes. What I'm looking for is the V in sign event, or the classic on the channel, Signavent, as we see on the right side. So I'm looking for the V. As the V leaves the screen, I'm going to hit the brakes, and we're going to drop down towards third gear. No need to drop second gear here. We want to clip the curb on the inside if you can, because if you don't, you run a bit wide there, and that can mean you run wide here. You do have to be careful of that. We're going to continue towards the final corner then, and what we're going to use is our brake marker in every single game here at Bathurst. That big tree on the right hand side, it's a beautiful tree, and that tree is your brake marker. Because we're in Group 4, they're slightly lower powered now as well. You want to brake as that disappears off the edge of your screen on the right hand side. So that's exactly what I'm going to do here. We drop second gear to get a bit of rotation. Short shift to third again, a bit like turn number 1. A little bit of wiggle on the exit there. You shouldn't normally get that, to be honest with you. That was quite unusual for that to happen. But we crossed the line there with a 2:14.3. We jump to our controller lap then as we go in towards turn number 1, second to third gear. Now, critically, I'm doing this. This is my very first attempt at this one, okay? On the controller / gamepad, whatever you want to call it. So I'm going to show you a really rough lap now, okay? So I've just jumped into this one. I've not used the controller for a week. Hard on the brakes as we go into here. And you're going to see what I have said, this is easy, okay? Sometimes I do this just to show that you can get 2 million in whatever seconds or minutes I've said in the thumbnail. I'm going to go through the left-hander here, and once again, looking for where the white line goes straight. There it is, hard on the brakes. We're a bit wider then. Notice that we missed the apex a little bit. We do bring it back, because on the controller, you can catch slides a little bit quicker and easier, as you saw right there. Here are the 2 trees, so we're going to turn in at this moment in time. We don't clip the curb on the inside. But again, this is a very rough first lap on the controller. Down here, up to 5th gear, we need to get the car turned in. There we go. Happy days. A slight lift there. I got a bit scared. Going up to here, we're going to lift again as we go through here. And notice there, because I didn't lift quite right, the car did get some understeer. It cost me some time. I'm going to head down the hill now, building on the right side, on the brakes. Hard on the brakes, release the brakes. Hard on the brakes, release the brakes as we turn. Where's the end of the curve? There it is. Dab the brakes, chuck it in, accelerate through here. That was very steady through there, but notice I'm just trying to avoid the walls. That's all you got to do. You don't have to go 100% here. 90, 80% down here, up the hill as well, and you should be fine. Second gear through Forest Elbow. Going to accelerate out up to third gear. A little bit of a wiggle there. Again, that's unusual for that to happen, but I had it here in this situation. Fast forward in then to the left-hander here. Once again, looking for the V and sign events. There it is. Hit the brakes, third gear. Clip the curb if we can. We go a bit slower through there. A little bit of a wiggle, nothing major. So you've seen a very rough lap here, and this is very much inside the gold time because this is why I'm showing you it. The tree on the right side is our final brake marker. Dropping the gears now. We drop to second gear, short shift to third gear. Clip the curb there. Don't do that. Notice that's definitely cost us 3 or 4 attempts there on the exit there quite easily. But we get to the line, and it's 16. And it's nearly a second within the goal time of what I estimate. I'm going to go into chase cam then. I'm going to show you how close to get to some of these walls now as we continue on through here. Notice that you can go over the white line in terms of track limits at turn 1, so it's good to know for you folks. ABS is on weak as well. I always get asked that question. ABS is on weak as we head towards this right-hander. Hard on the brakes as the escape road ends. Through we go. Don't touch the curb because that will spin me out. It's going to head up the mountain now. I'll also try and put my control settings in terms of sensitivity down below, but it's always 10. So it doesn't really change. Through the left-hander we go. Where's the white line? There it is, where it goes straight. So we're going to brake, turn in. Notice how close we get to the walls there. Straighten up very quickly. Make sure you don't clip the wall on the right side. Continue on through. Do not mount that curb too much. Get to the trees. Turn in. See how close we get here. Not too shabby on the left-hand side, bit closer. Heading down here, then I'm going to go up to 5th before the bottom of the hill, then turn in, clip the curb, continue on through there. Get to the next curb, lift off, turn in, and then lift off a little bit more if you need to. Just make sure you don't hit the wall on the left-hand side. Look for the building on the right now. Hard on the brakes, release, hard on the brakes, release, hard on the brakes. As we go through here, we're trail braking now, into the curb, down the brakes, chuck it in. Very close to the barrier there on the left-hand side. My word, that was close. As we continue on through, we want to lift a little bit here now, and when the barrier color changes, hit the brake, second gear, release the brakes, let the car roll, and then second gear up to third on the exit. Let's continue on out of there now and head down the hill and towards the chase. So looking for the 150 board if you're struggling on the brakes, or the V in sign event if you are confident on the brakes. There we go, third gear, turn in. Notice that we just missed the curb. I would say you need to clip the curb. Don't mount it because that will really send you flying. Just want to clip it, nice little kiss, peck, should we say. Head towards final corner then. The tree on the right side is your brake marker. Hard on the brakes, second gear up to third with a nice little short shift. Try not to get too much of a wiggle on as we continue on through and head towards the line. And that's at 2 minutes 14.3 right there that I got earlier on. What we're going to do now is jump to our VR lap and show you this in VR as we head towards turn number 1. Look at the end of the building on the left-hand side here then. There it is. Hard on the brakes. Second gear up to third gear. Continue on through. Again, you can run wide here over that white line. Very much nice to do if you are struggling with a bit of oversteer. The reason you run wide there is because you're trying to straighten up that wheel a little bit earlier. If you keep it nice and tight on the wheel, like 90 degrees, whatever you want to call it, you're going to get more oversteer. So you straighten up. That means the wheels can just go and the car can go forward. Right, look at the escape road on the left-hand side. Where is it? There it is. There's the end of it. Hit the brakes, third gear, turn in, and then don't clip the curb. Just get close enough to it. Third gear, accelerate through. Now, you want to change gear around 7,000 RPM, I've found. Don't over-rev this car. As we continue on here, looking for where the white line goes straight. There it is. Hit the brakes, turn in. Now, this corner in VR is a bit easier because you can sort of see what the car is doing, and you see around the corner a little bit better as well. Problem in VR is as you go up here, so I couldn't really tell where the barrier was there, so it did scare me a little bit. Left hand side, I can see exactly where it is, so that's not too much of a problem. Going down here, it's 5th gear. I did struggle a little bit here. You do have to really chuck it in nicer, and then we get towards this curve. Remember, you lift off here as you turn in, and you get nice and close to the barrier then in VR, just because it's a left-hand drive car. And down the mountain then, the building on the right side, we're going to go on the brakes here. Hard on the brakes, release. Hard on the brakes, trail brake now as we go through this right-hander. The end of the curve, dab the brakes, chuck it in, and we keep the car nice and stable once again, because we can see through the corner a little bit. It's a little bit easier on VR, in my opinion, as we go through this right-hander lift off. There's the changing barrier colour and the brakes. Now, we've got in very tight here, so we are going to have a compromised exit. Notice there, because of how tight we went through the corner, the car really didn't like that because I had to overturn the car. That's what I'm talking about with turn 1. Same on that turn there, and any turn really at Bathurst in this car. If you overturn the car, you're oversteering the car, you start to accelerate, the car's going to get a bit of a wiggle on, so you do have to try and straighten up as much as possible and try and make sure you don't take those corners too tight. Now, I just did some consecutive laps here then, just to, build my speed up. I'm not going for world records here or anything as I slow the car down, because the leaderboard's going to be very competitive very quickly, and it'd be very hard to get all my laps on the leaderboard. Continue on through here then, going to head towards the final corner, which once again we're looking for that tree, and I am looking out for that tree even in VR. Hard on the brakes, 2nd gear, turn in, 3rd gear, then through the corner we go, nice and stable. I'm chasing my own ghost up ahead, and this is a 215 something over there. 214s are possible in VR as well. I mean, 213s are possible in VR if you are absolutely godlike in VR. There you go, Tish. How do I get here? I want to get 2 million credits. I mean, I opened this account today. I've got 8 million. How good is that? That's how good these time trials are in terms of earning money. So here is the main menu. And we're going to head to sport mode, which is the top right-hand icon there. Look at that. The trophy that you can win in sport mode. We end up with daily races and online time trials. We're going into the time trials. We have 3 at the moment there. So we've got the Opel, we've got the Hyundai, and we've got the Ford. And we're interested in the Ford this week. So we're going to click into the Ford. Now, what you're going to see here is Calster 8child is currently winning here, and Calster's probably on the pad as well, to be honest with you. But you have the gold, silver, bronze times. They will continue to go down with the world record, but as long as you get under the gold time, at the end of the 2 weeks, you are going to get 2 million credits. Right, we're going to go to the leaderboard now, so you can load one of my ghosts here, which is the 214.3 if you want to have a look at the lap, or load the ghost when you are in the session. And that's all you need to know here. So this one is quite a straightforward one. I don't know how they're using Group 4 cars. We still have some of the new cars that we could have used in the time trial, but it's kind of a fun one, to be honest, with the Ford Mustang. It's a little bit lively, and yeah, you can enjoy Bathurst in all its glory, and it is a fantastic track, Bathurst. I do enjoy it myself. In terms of enjoyment, though, have you enjoyed the video? If you have, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, stay in touch with all the latest content. Apologies, I've got a bit of a sore throat here. That is going to be it for this video there. 2 videos there to check out, including time trials from last week. My partners are down below. Do check them out. And of course, that does contribute to the channel and the support as well. And I appreciate all the support. Even viewing this video is support. So a big, big thank you for watching. And I hope to see you in another video or live stream again very soon.